safe is the beach or the pool that you'll be taking your family to this weekend? Well, that depends on how well trained the lifeguards are who work there. As Matt Mahar found out, just having a lifeguard on duty does not guarantee your safety.
On the world's most watched television show, it's hard bodies, hot romances, and happy endings. But that's not real lifeguarding.
There's a lot of work. We train every winter. We go over our first responder course. We go through pool practice, and we do a lot of work just to stay fit. Well, it's just like a fireman. We're then there when you need us. You know, sometimes we just sit around and we watch the girls, we watch the waves, but when we're needed, we're well trained and we respond.
For 17 years, Andy Alty has been a lifeguard in Jacksonville Beach, Florida. It's one of the oldest and most respected programs in the country. Recruits there go through a grueling 12-week training course.
We've been working together for 10 weeks and you're going to stop being a team all of a sudden? No, sir.
75% of those who begin the training will drop out.
You don't need to stop just because the tide's coming up. You're going to get wet on this job.
Those who complete the program will join 100 guards who watch as many as 60,000 people on a busy weekend day.
Whenever a guard leaves his tower, there's always 4 guys coming right behind him to help. I mean, I've been on several cases where it takes 5, 6 people just to bring 2 people in.
The Jacksonville Beach program cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to support. With dozens of lives saved every week, that seems like money well spent. But not every city trains or chooses their lifeguards this well, and that can lead to tragedy. In Atlantic City, New Jersey, 2 months ago, a lifeguard was indicted after an 8-year-old boy nearly drowned. The lifeguard had allegedly forged her lifeguard certificate. Charges are still pending. In New York City, the entire lifeguard program has come under attack.
I mean, it's terrible for one to imagine that when someone's drowning and you can see help within reach, and it's just not coming to you.
Last fall, Dalton Agathy of Queens, New York, won a $1 million jury verdict against the city of New York. He maintained that his teenage son, Anthony, would still be alive today if a city lifeguard had responded properly when a riptide dragged Anthony and one of his friends out to sea off Rockaway Beach. A third boy, Roger Vaughn, escaped. He says the lifeguard was talking to a girl while his friends were drowning right in front of his chair. In this videotaped deposition, he says the lifeguard argued with him when he told him his friends needed help.
Then I went to the one I was sitting on the lifeguard station and told him, and he said, why the F did y'all come out here if y'all can't swim?
The lifeguard testified that he had followed proper procedure and that the 2 boys who drowned had ignored his signals to come in. But the jury reportedly found that the lifeguard's slow reaction contributed to the boys' death.
Very precious and valuable time was lost. He had no concern for human life.
Dalton Agathy is not the only person critical of the New York City lifeguards. Last year, the Public Advocate's Office released a scathing report on the system, citing special treatment in the testing and hiring of lifeguards who were not being retested every year as required, and in general, substandard training and enforcement. The report also blasts the New York City lifeguard training course because it only requires the guards to be tested in swimming pools, even if they're going to be assigned to beaches.
I think what you need to do is give them a test and further train them for the location that you're working, because every location's a little different.
Joe Pecoraro is the highly respected head of Chicago's 1,000 lifeguards. He says putting poorly trained lifeguards on duty is like flirting with death.
It's like sending a policeman into a robbery without knowing how to fire a gun.
And one note, if you catch a lifeguard not paying attention, you're advised to report him or her to a supervisor. But we should note, Madeline, that most lifeguards are very good at what they do.
Unfortunately, there are those few you have to look out for.
There are.
And